Because the Landman Season 2 Episode 9 trailer is not playing nice. It's messy, tense, emotional, and honestly, it feels like the calm before a very ugly storm. Every single frame feels like a warning. And the scariest part is this: everyone thinks they're still in control. But are they really? Let's be real for a second. MTEX is hanging by a thread. Cammy is smiling on the outside, breaking on the inside, and making decisions that feel more desperate than strategic. The trailer doesn't even try to hide it. Her face alone tells us she knows something is wrong. She just doesn't know how wrong yet. And when someone keeps saying we'll be fine a little too often, doesn't that usually mean they won't be? Galino, on the other hand, looks way too comfortable. Calm, confident, almost bored. That's never a good sign. When chaos is brewing and the villain is relaxed, it usually means the plan is already in motion. The trailer keeps showing him watching, listening, waiting. No yelling, no threats. Just that quiet confidence that says, no matter what happens next, I win. And honestly, doesn't that scare you more than any gun or cartel threat ever could? Then there's the drilling, the famous 10% chance that everyone keeps pretending is a reasonable risk. The trailer leans heavily into this moment. Alarms, tension, fast cuts, worried faces. Cooper stepping up, trying to assert leadership like the synopsis promised. But here's the real question. Is Cooper actually leading, or just being set up to take the fall if things explode? Because leadership at MTEX lately feels less like power and more like a curse. Cammy approves. Tommy hesitates. Rebecca watches. Charlie stays suspiciously calm. And that's exactly the problem. Charlie is never stressed, never rushed, never confused. The trailer doesn't give him many lines, but it doesn't need to. His silence says everything. If something goes wrong at that drill site, who's going to look innocent? And who's going to quietly walk away untouched? And let's talk about Tommy. The trailer shows him tired, not angry, not loud, just exhausted. Like a man who's warned everyone 100 times and finally stopped shouting. That's dangerous. Because when the one person who cares the most starts pulling back, disasters usually follow. Is he preparing to save Cammy again, or preparing to let her finally face the consequences? Meanwhile, Angela is suddenly everywhere again. Confident, bold, involved. The trailer hints at another rescue, another dramatic moment, another reminder that side stories are starting to bleed into the main disaster. Is this helping the show, or distracting us right before the real betrayal hits? Because here's what the trailer really feels like: a setup. Not for success, not for redemption, but for exposure. Secrets don't stay buried forever, especially not when money, pride, and fear are all colliding at the same time. Someone is lying, someone is manipulating, and someone is about to realize they trusted the wrong person far too late. So the real question isn't, will something go wrong in episode 9? The trailer makes it clear that it will. The real question is this: when the alarms start and the plan collapses, who's going to be standing in the wreckage? And who's going to reveal they planned it all along? Because once you look closer at that trailer, it becomes painfully obvious. Episode 9 is not about drilling gas. It's about drilling into trust. And trust at MTEX is already paper thin. The title alone says enough. Plans, tears, and sirens. Plans don't usually fail quietly. Tears don't come without betrayal. And sirens? Sirens mean consequences. Loud ones. Permanent ones. The trailer flashes emergency lights, rushed movements, and panicked expressions, but it never clearly shows us what goes wrong. And that's intentional, because the damage isn't just physical, it's emotional, financial, and personal. Cammy looks like she's finally starting to feel the weight of her choices. Not just the debt, not just the drilling risk, but the realization that she may have been played from the very beginning. There's a moment in the trailer where she pauses, almost like something clicks in her head. And when someone like Cammy starts connecting dots this late in the game, the truth is usually already dangerous. And Galino? Still calm, still watching, still never where the chaos actually happens. Isn't it interesting how he's always one step away from disaster, never inside it? That's not luck, that's design. Whether MTech succeeds or fails, Galino doesn't lose. If gas flows, he profits. If it doesn't, he collects everything else. So ask yourself this: why would he ever want things to go smoothly? Cooper's situation feels even worse. The trailer frames him as the face of leadership, the man at the drill site, the one making calls under pressure, but leadership also means blame. If something goes wrong, the fingers won't point at Galino, they won't point at Charlie. They'll point at the guy wearing the hard hat, standing closest to the explosion. Is Cooper being tested or sacrificed? And speaking of Charlie, his absence in the trailer is louder than his presence ever was. No panic, no urgency, no visible fear. That's terrifying. Because the most dangerous players are never the ones running around when alarms start blaring. They're the ones who already know exactly when the sirens will sound. Tommy's role feels emotionally heavy this time. The trailer hints that he may finally be done fighting everyone else's battles. Not because he doesn't care, but because he's tired of being ignored. And when someone like Tommy steps back, it creates space. Space for mistakes, space for manipulation, space for disasters no one can stop anymore. Angela rescuing Ainsley adds another layer of tension. It sounds simple on paper, but Landman never does simple. Whether it's danger, recklessness, or collateral damage from someone else's war, one thing is clear: no one is staying untouched. Even the side stories feel like warnings, reminding us that chaos spreads fast when leadership collapses. And that's what episode 9 really promises: not answers, not relief, but escalation. The trailer doesn't show resolution, it shows cracks. Cracks in Cammie's confidence, cracks in Tommy's patience, cracks in MTex's foundation. And once cracks appear, collapse is only a matter of time. So here's the question you should be asking yourself before episode 9 even airs.